Now, moving on, as you said, to our Prime Minister here in Luxembourg, Xavier Bettel. Well, he's a very well-known and approachable Prime Minister here in Luxembourg. First appointment to Prime Ministership was 2013, and he was reappointed Prime Minister in 2018. Alongside this, he is also Minister for Digitalisation, amongst many other posts. Xavier Bettel has been a member of the Chambre des Députés, the parliament here in Luxembourg, since 1999. He also served as mayor of Luxembourg from 2011 until becoming prime minister in 2013. And last week, our prime minister opened Lux Internet Days. And now it's over to you once again, Prime Minister, to open EU Open Data Days.
Dear partners, dear data enthusiasts, dear friends, I'm very happy to be opening the first day of the EU Open Data Days, an event that brings together policymakers, developers, consultants, and most importantly, innovators. Our societies can only evolve if we can continue to innovate. And I strongly believe that data and its uses and reuses have the most potential to positively affect our lives. Data is often referred to as the oil of the 21st century. I don't think that this is true. For me, data has much more value and potential than oil back in the days. Data is more like a renewable energy resource. So all the things I said before about the fuel of tomorrow, please balance it. Because data fuels tomorrow's technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things, and virtual reality. And this is not just a listing of fancy buzzwords. The reuses for data are literally limitless, and rapid technological evolution makes it possible to constantly create new services and applications. Autonomous vehicles and to end traceability, smart grids, all these useful technological evolutions are enabled by the availability of accurate data, and most importantly, the innovative minds of those who transform data into high quality and valuable information. But all that glitters is not gold. The malicious use of data is a serious threat to our society, economy, and our democracies. That's why we policymakers have to develop the right framework conditions to ensure that data is created, used, and reused in ways that positively affect all sectors of society and the economy. I want to reiterate my belief that technology exists to support society, not the other way around. Let's not forget that the use of technology such as AI comes with a new set of responsibilities. What is done behind a digital screen and online has concrete consequences in the real world. Digitalization should not happen to us, it should happen for us. We have to work to make sure that digitalization is not a threat, but an opportunity for every one of us. Let us not be blinded by the shiny new technology. We need accountability and transparency around the opportunities that arise from new technologies. We need to ensure that human dignity and human rights are always respected. This is where our digital sovereignty comes into play. The European Union was right to put the digital transformation of our society and economy at the top of its agenda and to make this Europe's digital decade. We have to strengthen our digital leadership, and we have to do it together as a unity, as Europeans. And it works, as we have seen with the protection of personal data. We as Europeans, we are able to set international standards that are in line with our core European values. We now have to replicate this in other digital domains. Let me, in this regard, briefly raise an issue that is becoming increasingly important with the multiplication of data and its storage. Our awareness about digital infrastructure's energy footprint. For consumers of digital services, myself included, it is still unclear how they can contribute to reducing their digital energy footprint. After all, few providers disclose their energy consumption, which is different for most of today's home appliances, our cars, or other methods of travel, just to give a few examples. Consumers increasingly want to know more about what is behind their screens and on the cloud. As you know, we have a number of high-density data centers in Luxembourg. We also have recently put the National High-Performance Computer Meluxina into operation, which is ranked at number 4 in the Green 500 ranking of worldwide HPC systems. We have to analyze how data is used and processed to be able to optimize its efficiency. because the data-driven society is already a reality. And this is, in my opinion, a good thing. Availability of accurate data improves the decision-making process and enables data-driven policy-making. In that regard, I want to briefly highlight a project my government recently decided to launch, a national data exchange platform. The aim of the platform is to improve access to high-value data sets, to create sectoral data spaces, and to offer services directly related to data processing, like the anonymization and the visualization of data. At the same time, the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology is working on digital replica of Luxembourg, a so-called digital twin. A replica not just of the city of Luxembourg, but of Luxembourg as a country. The visualization of enormous amounts of data will enable simulations of various policy options in many different domains, like transport, energy, or demographic growth. Thanks to the visualization of data, we can test different options without directly affecting citizens. This is also particularly relevant with regard to the COVID-19 crisis. One positive outcome of the crisis, if there has to be one, is that it has further raised the interest of data. Never before was the crossing of data and its visualization as widespread as these days. Several times a day we received updates of the numbers of vaccinations, new cases, hospitalizations, and so on. The positive impact of data during this crisis is immeasurable. And I don't want to imagine how we would have managed this crisis if it had happened 5 or 10 years ago. Like I said in the beginning, the value of data cannot be qualified. And I honestly believe that we are only at the beginning of seeing the possibilities enabled by data enthusiasts like you. We policymakers have to be thankful that innovators like you keep on providing our society with new services and applications. So thank you. I also want to thank the Publications Office of the EU for organizing this important conference. It is events like this one that helps spread innovation and raise awareness about the possibilities of data. You are doing a great job, and Luxembourg is proud that you are based here. Keep up the good work. Let me finish by saying that even though I'm really happy to give the opening speech today, I would have loved to welcome you physically here in my home country. I really hope that we will be able to meet again here in Luxembourg next year, because even if data technologies allow us to keep meeting and working remotely, nothing can replace face-to-face networking and exchanging our ideas. Have a good conference and see you next year.